Before we dive into this dark tale, smash that subscribe button, hit like, and drop a comment if you dare. Because once you hear what happened next, there's no turning back. It was a crisp October morning in suburban Wisconsin, the kind of morning that seemed harmless, sunlight glinting off dewy lawns, the quiet hum of distant traffic. But the peace was a lie. 24-year-old Brooke Strattan had vanished. Her car sat abandoned in the driveway, doors locked, keys in the ignition. A chilling silence hung over the neighborhood, broken only by the frantic voice of her father calling her name down the empty street. Something wasn't right. Detectives arrived within the hour. The house itself told a story of sudden departure, a half-drunk cup of coffee on the counter, a book open to a bookmarked page, and a phone left blinking with unanswered messages. But the strangest clue came from Brooke's journal, hidden beneath the mattress, a series of entries detailing a relationship fraught with fear. She wrote of arguments that escalated too quickly, of feeling trapped, of whispers in the night that left her heart pounding. And at the center of it all was James Barnes Morris, her 26-year-old boyfriend, charming to strangers but menacing in private. As investigators canvassed the neighborhood, the first hints of danger began to emerge. Witnesses reported seeing the couple arguing violently at a recent social gathering, voices raised, drinks spilling, tempers flaring. Some said they'd overheard James muttering, almost under his breath, "I had to get rid of her." It sounded like nonsense at the time, but now with Brooke missing, every word carried weight. Hours turned into a tense, nerve-wracking day. The search extended from the house to the surrounding woods, to the retention pond nearby, where ducks floated obliviously over murky water. It was there, police later reported, that a jogger noticed something unnatural, a pale arm breaking the surface beneath a tangle of weeds. Divers were called, and within minutes, the worst was confirmed. Brooke Strattan's body had been submerged, hidden among reeds and debris, her life cut short in a place no one thought to check. Back at the precinct, the pressure mounted. Detectives scoured Brooke's messages and calls, piecing together a chilling portrait of fear. James Barnes Morris had gone missing. His apartment, when searched, revealed more questions than answers. Personal items that belonged to Brooke, some damaged, others packed hastily, as if he had been preparing to disappear. And then there were the cryptic texts he had sent her friends, half apologetic, half threatening. The investigators' urgency turned to dread. Every lead seemed to spiral into more uncertainty. A neighbor came forward, claiming to have seen James leaving Brooke's house that night carrying something heavy. Another described hearing a car's engine roaring away at odd hours, the lights flashing through the autumn mist. The town was tense. Whispers ran through the streets like wildfire. Who was James really, and what had driven him to this act? Just when the team thought they were tracing his path, a disturbing revelation came to light. Brooke's social media, which had gone silent for days, revealed a pattern of fear and isolation in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. Friends recalled her saying she didn't feel safe, even in her own home. And then, buried in a comment on a seemingly innocent photo, was a cryptic message from James himself: "I can't let you go." By nightfall, the case had transformed from a missing person investigation into a high-stakes hunt for a man who had vanished into the shadows. Detectives had no choice but to follow the trail he left, each clue more sinister than the last. And just when they believed they had reached a dead end, the final twist came, a discovery that would shake the investigation to its core. The morning after the discovery of the blood-stained jacket, the air in Wisconsin felt heavier, like the sky itself was mourning Brooke Strattan. Detectives knew one thing with grim certainty: James Barnes Morris wasn't just missing, he was hiding, planning, and possibly preparing to vanish forever. Every second counted. The investigation took a sinister turn when surveillance footage from nearby streets revealed James' car moving at odd hours, weaving through empty side roads, headlights cutting through fog like knives. Forensic analysts pored over the footage, but James was careful. He seemed to know every blind spot, every back alley. It was as if he was playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse with the authorities, testing them. Meanwhile, Brooke's friends and family were trapped in a vortex of fear and grief. Her father, devastated but determined, pored over her journal again, searching for anything that might explain what led to that fatal night. Her closest friend remembered a chilling conversation where Brooke whispered, trembling, "If anything happens to me, it will be him." The investigators clung to that testimony, using it to construct a psychological profile of James, possessive, controlling, and capable of calculated violence. A breakthrough came when a local hiker reported something unusual along the bank of the same retention pond where Brooke's body had been found. Footprints, partially washed away by rain, led to a small, overgrown path. Investigators traced the trail to a storage shed behind an abandoned property. Inside, there was more than just discarded trash. There were remnants of what appeared to be Brooke's belongings, some burned, others hidden in crates, and disturbingly, traces of DNA that confirmed James had been there recently.
The tension escalated when police learned James had been communicating with a friend under a false identity, asking for directions, money, and a place to hide. The friend, terrified, finally came forward. Their testimony painted a picture of a man spiraling out of control, yet meticulously covering his tracks. It was a terrifying glimpse into the mind of someone capable of extreme measures. As detectives closed in, the pressure on James grew, but so did his desperation. A search of his last known residence uncovered encrypted messages on his phone. The messages hinted at a network of secret locations and stashed items, suggesting James had planned his escape long before Brooke's death. For investigators, it was a race against time. Every clue was a thread they had to follow before it disappeared into the chaos James had created. Then came the twist that no one saw coming. A tip led authorities to a friend's apartment on the outskirts of town. There, hidden beneath a false floorboard, they found a notebook, a journal written entirely in James' handwriting. It chronicled Brooke's movements, her fears, and terrifyingly, his obsession. Pages detailed moments of manipulation, moments where he controlled who she could see, where she could go, and finally, his plan to make sure she would never leave him. The discovery shocked the entire task force. It wasn't just a crime of passion, it was a crime of calculated obsession, a carefully plotted descent into darkness. And it painted James not only as a threat to Brooke, but to anyone who got in his way. The chapter closes on an almost cinematic note. As detectives left the apartment, cameras caught movement across the street, a shadow slipping into the night. It was James Barnes Morris. He had watched them find the notebook. He was still out there, and the hunt was far from over. Every lead from that point onward had to be handled carefully. One misstep, one wrong turn, and the trail could vanish entirely. And with James's cunning, the danger was escalating faster than anyone imagined. After weeks of frantic searching, the trail of James Barnes Morris led investigators to a remote wooded area outside the city. It was the kind of place where shadows swallowed the path, where every snapped twig could signal danger. Officers moved cautiously, hearts pounding, flashlights slicing through the dense night air. Every detail mattered, and every second felt like a lifetime. Inside a small, dilapidated cabin tucked behind overgrown trees, they finally found him. James had barricaded the doors, frantic and disoriented, his journal clutched to his chest like a lifeline. He wasn't armed, at least not visibly, but the air around him was charged with tension, the kind that makes even the most seasoned detectives hesitate. Negotiators approached, trying to coax him out, promising him safety. yet his eyes betrayed something darker: defiance, obsession, and the knowledge that the walls around him were closing in. Inside the cabin, authorities discovered more evidence that cemented his guilt. Brooke's belongings, small trinkets, clothes, and personal items were hidden in carefully organized piles, each tagged with notes in James' handwriting. There were sketches of the retention pond, diagrams of escape routes, and chilling annotations about control and what she deserved. It was a glimpse into a mind that had rationalized murder as the only solution. The negotiations stretched for hours, the night growing colder, more oppressive. Finally, realizing escape was impossible and the evidence overwhelming, James emerged, hands raised, eyes wild but defeated. Officers moved in, cuffing him while he muttered fragments of apologies, distorted logic, and veiled threats. The shadow that had haunted the investigation was finally captured, but the weight of what he had done hung in the air like a thick fog. Back at the station, interrogation revealed the horrifying details. James admitted to reckless acts that led to Brooke's death, his plea carefully worded to avoid the maximum sentence, yet leaving no doubt about his responsibility. The community shuddered as the story unfolded. The seemingly normal young man with a charming smile had been hiding a monster beneath the surface, a man whose obsession escalated to murder. Brooke Strattan's family finally had some closure, though the pain was raw and irreparable. Her bravery, documented in journals and messages, told the world the story of a woman who had feared for her life, tried to reach out, and tragically couldn't escape the man she once loved. Vigils were held, candles flickering in the night, as friends and strangers alike mourned a life ended too soon. The final twist came during the sentencing phase. While James would face years behind bars, forensic analysis revealed something chilling. Small clues suggested Brooke might have sensed danger in ways no one realized. Her last journal entries, her friends' recollections, and the cryptic texts she left behind painted a portrait of foresight, of a woman who knew the darkness that was closing in, but still, there was no stopping the inevitable. As the court adjourned and James was led away, the detectives involved reflected on the case. They had caught the criminal, uncovered the truth, and ensured justice. But the haunting reminder remained. Obsession can disguise itself behind charm, manipulation can hide behind love, and danger often lurks where we least expect it. Brooke's story became a cautionary tale, a reminder to listen to instinct, to recognize danger, and to value every moment. The pond where her body was found was left undisturbed, a silent memorial to the life that had been stolen and to the darkness that can exist even in the quietest neighborhoods. If you think this story was intense, remember, true crime is never just about the act itself. It's about the lives it touches, the secrets it exposes, and the chilling reality that sometimes the people closest to us can be the most dangerous.